Well, hello, my beautiful 1111 family, my beautiful PIs. All right, you guys, this is not like any other video I've ever done. This is going to answer a lot of questions as to what happened to Summer. It will not provide where she is. I am only focused on sharing with you, after all this time, from the very beginning, when Summer went missing on June 15th, of 2021, she just got gone, and it's been a long haul. I've always said in every case, don't leave any stone unturned, that we never lock into anything until we have the proof to back that up. So we continue to explore every theory, and this is more than a theory. I believe in the heart of me that this is exactly 1000% of how Summer passed away. I'm not here to convince you. I'm simply sharing with you the information. Yes, this will be submitted to TVI. I won't be interacting as much with our beautiful live audience. I do want to thank you for tuning in. I do want to thank my replay audience, but today we've got to keep it condensed and focused so that it's short and to the point. Good afternoon, Connie Branch. Hi, Nikki, Carla, Zozo, Jennifer Swain, my lovely, Linda Beatty. Welcome, everybody. And Rach, I hope you feel better soon. Everybody's got the flu. Debbie's sick. Oh, all right. Well, let me get into this a little bit and kind of bring you up to speed as to where I am. If you have a short attention span and you're expecting my answer to pop out in the next 3 minutes, tap out. Summer deserves the full explanation of what took place, of us recognizing the signs and figuring out why this child passed away, because I do believe she passed away, and I think you will too. Hi, Jamie Brown. I think you will too. In this scenario, as you look at Summer's life, we're going to head over to our PowerPoint today. Let me get it on the screen. She was cold. So let's talk about Summer for a minute. Let's get a picture of Summer up on the board. What are some of the things that you know about Summer? Well, we know she was underweight. She was shorter and smaller than children her age. She was in the lower percentile of weight and height for children that are almost 5 or 5, right? Now, in that, Summer also, as you see her holding a bag of what looks like Frankenberry cereal, right? The whole bag, just eating a handful of it, dry cereal, whatever, okay. But I believe today, I'm just going to come back up to the top real quick. What I am going to show you, I am 1000% certain that this is how Summer passed. In order for me to get to this level, I've had to do an immense amount of research. And in that, there are some key factors that seemed small and insignificant that were all adding up to a deadly combination when it came to Summer. She still has a beautiful soul, Rad. She still does. So when you think of Summer, one of the things that most of us come up with is that she isn't being fed properly at all. You can see she is very underweight. She's just beyond tiny for her age. And when you look at her little legs, let's see if I can find a picture. Oh, the PowerPoint froze, but we'll leave it for a minute. But her little legs are like toothpicks. This malnutrition is showing up in her teeth, okay? So when a child of such young age has decay in their teeth, it can be from bottle rot, right? Where the bottle get left in the mouth when they were infants, and when their teeth came in, it rotted those front teeth. But in other cases, it's an extremely high probability that the child is suffering from malnutrition, like legitimate, serious malnutrition. Hey, Wendy, you just crawled out of the bushes. Finally caught alive. Hope you're not late. You're not late. We're just getting started. And with that malnutrition, there comes to be issues within the body itself. The body does not regulate things the same, including your own saliva, which is why the teeth begin to rot. If you dig deep into it, malnutrition and teeth go hand in hand. And so exactly the stomach acids regurgitating and working on them teeth and so forth. Right, Linda, right. Hey, Shona. So when we're looking at Summer, she obviously isn't healthy. This child is not healthy. There's no way that anybody can look at this child and go, oh yeah, she looks so healthy. Because she's not missing teeth. Her teeth are rotting. Her teeth are decaying. Because she has not been fed proper. Now, when you look at her, her eyes are sunk in. She's got decaying teeth. They're keeping her hair short. And nobody is going to sit here and tell me how wonderful of a mother Candace Bly is. This mother was lazy as crap. And thank you, Sharon, so much for being a private eye with us for 21 months. Thank you. I appreciate you. And we have this malnutrition going on. So I want you to listen to some things that are shared in some of the interviews that express how little these children were being fed at all, if any. Now remember, Allie was actually buying food for these kids because it wasn't happening otherwise. And I believe that. And so you're going to hear a couple things that kind of lead you to understand how much sugar was being pumped into this child without any nutrition to balance it out. Is that important? Yes, it can be deadly. Let's go ahead and talk.
Well, that certainly has left an impression on you, Leslie.
Yes, it does. I don't like her. I have nothing for her.
Right.
And I told that one right there when we was at work.
Right.
Every day she was off work. She was at Walmart spending money for them.
Okay.
Every day.
For the children. I know what you mean by for them, for the children, am I right? I mean, helping the kids move forward.
Most kids, all they would eat is dollar pizzas.
How do they have the cars that they drive?
All they were eating is dollar pizzas. Now, if you listen further into this conversation and other conversations, you find out that the children were eating frozen pizzas, meaning half the time they weren't even cooked. One of the things that Jose talked about was that he did all the cooking and cleaning because Candace did not cook. These children were not getting fed. And she was a sickly looking child. But that only contributes to other problems. Now, let's talk about all the sugar that was fed to Summer. I told you that long ago, in the middle of the night, I was listening to Voices Behind the Wall 4 years ago. Summer had been missing for quite a few months, and that Donnie had come on, the father of Summer, and talked about how Summer would make him a list of candy every morning, and he would bring her home a bag of candy every day. I found it. So let's share this.
What?
Yeah. Okay, now some people are pointing out that they notice on June 15th that your daughter Summer has had candy, orange soda pop, a slushie at Sonic, but people are now, I'm sure you've read, trying to say, well, what kind of food did she eat? How come there was no real meals in there, blah, blah, blah. Do you happen to know what she all ate maybe on June 15th? Did they go out to eat anywhere, have a big breakfast at home before they went somewhere, or how that went at all?
I really don't have any idea on that, but usually her biggest thing that she likes is French fries. She's always wanting to stop and get a French fry and a soda, and you know, every day before I left for work, she says, "Dad, will you bring me candy?" Or she'd give me a list, and so every day when I come home, she'd come running down the hill at the truck and meet me and open my door and just say, "Daddy, did you bring me candy?" And I says, "Yeah, Summer, you know I did, but I don't." There's a couple times I'd forget, I'd be tired or whatever, and she'd say, "That's okay," you know.
Let's stop there. Every single day, he brought her a bag of candy, except for a couple times. She was making him list out for candy, and he was buying it. This is all on them, y'all. This entire thing falls back on the shitty parents that don't even care if their children are healthy. So, in this, he says every day Summer would come running down the hill to meet him halfway and open his door. Didn't Jody Sue talk about a vehicle going halfway up the driveway? Didn't the dogs track down the driveway? Okay, so there's no nutrition, empty calories. This child is living off of French fries, orange soda, Skittles, candy, junk food, Frankenberry's dry cereal, and her teeth are decaying right out of her head. Her little frame, her little legs, I kid you not, are about an inch wide, that's it, at the ankles. She looks like a 3-year-old in these pictures when you look at her body. But she's really 5.5, okay? Let's continue about the candy every day.
I miss her so much.
I can't even imagine, man.
Let's listen to this
That
one
just
part
made me
one
think
more
of Leland
time.
always asking me, "Oh,
Also, you heard Cher bring up the fact that a lot of people are concerned that on that very day, there was no food given to Summer. There was no food given to this baby. Had there been the day before? Who knows? Allie's out of the picture. She ain't buying groceries. Jose's not cooking. He's gone. They picked up early in the morning and left that place and went to the ER. I doubt you. I'll bet you $1,000 billion that these kids did not get fed breakfast. And so we know where they all went. But it's the whole candy thing, right? Every day he brings her candy.
what she all ate maybe on June 15th? Did they go out to eat anywhere, have a big breakfast at home before they went somewhere, or how that went at all?
Nope.
I really don't have any idea on that, but usually her biggest thing that she likes is French fries. She's always wanting to stop and get a French fry and a soda, And, you know, every day before I left for work, she says, Dad, will you bring me candy? Or she'd give me a list. And so every day when I come home, she'd come running down the hill at the truck and meet me and open my door and just say, Daddy, did she bring me candy? And I says, yeah, Summer, you know I did. But there was a couple times I'd forget, I'd be tired or whatever. And she'd say, that's okay. You know, I miss her so much.
I can't even imagine, man. I just.
That just made me think of Leland always asking.
Every time I stop at the gas station, anything, you know, I think about it. When I pull in the driveway, the other day, Candace come pulling in the driveway, and I run out to the truck to get Summer, and I forgot for a minute that she wasn't with us any longer.
She wasn't with us any longer. It's not that Summer was missing. It's that Summer wasn't with them any longer. So, let's go over here. And let's open up this. Okay. And let's talk about this a little bit. And it's basically about malnutrition and oral health in children. The purpose of this paper is to review the effects of malnutrition on children's oral health. Recent findings: malnutrition negatively affects the development of craniofacial structures and teeth. Nutrient deficiencies during amelogenesis and dentinogenesis lead to defective tooth structures which tend to harbor cariogenic bacteria. The role of vitamin D in prevention of the dental caries is inconclusive. Some researchers believe dental caries is not malfactorial nor transmittable because caries, can't even read all these big words, cannot develop without sugars. There is a conflicting information on relation to the effect of malnutrition in tooth eruption and exfoliation, but its deleterious influence is clear in the integrity of the oral mucosa and salivary function. So the improper nutrition derives the child from important nutrients for growth and development, including that of oral structures. And so what happens basically is the teeth do not get taken care of. The body is not able to produce the teeth the way they should, and the teeth get rotten. Carolyn says, every child loves candy and french fries, but they need more than that. I'm not taking up for them, but everyone does buy candy, and they shouldn't give them that every day. They should give them other. All right, so with this, it's more than just buying candy. It's the lack of actual food. Let's go ahead and look at this article. Give it a minute to come up. The indicators of malnutrition. Now, we all know Summer is well below the average percentile in height and weight. And I believe it's because she's stunted. And that is that malnutrition in children. The indicators, stunting, wasting, overweight, and underweight, are used to measure nutritional imbalance. Such imbalance results in either undernutrition, which is assessing from stunting, wasting, and underweight. Child growth is internationally recognized as an important factor of nutritional status and health in populations. A percentage of children with low height for age stunting reflects the cumulative effect of undernutrition and infections since birth and even before birth. This measure can therefore be interpreted as an indication of poor environmental conditions, which we know Summer had, and long-term restriction of the child's growth potential. The percentage of children who have low weight for age, underweight, can reflect wasting, which is low weight for the height, indicating acute weight loss or stunting or both. Thus, underweight is a composite indicator that may be difficult to interpret. Stunting, wasting, and overweight in children aged under 5 years are included as primary indicators, outcome indicators, as the core set of indicators for the Global Nutrition Monitoring Framework to monitor progress towards reaching goal nutrition targets 1, 4, and 6. These 3 indicators are also included in WHO's global reference list of 100 core health factors. So this is stunting, meaning that the child is shorter than they should be for their age. All right, Summer qualifies. Wasting. They're underweight for the height that they are. She had chronic wasting, right? She was a very underweight and very stunted. So children that are stunted. Children who suffer from growth retardation as a result of poor diets and recurrent infections tend to be at greater risk for illness and death. Stunting is a result of long-term nutritional deprivation and often results in delayed mental development, which that is exactly how they described Summer. Poor school performance and a reduction of intellectual capacity. In turn, this affects economic productivity at a national level. Women of short stature are at greater risk for obstetric complications because of small pelvises. Also, small women are at greater risk for delivering an infant with low birth weight. We'll get out of that. Wasting. This is when the child is underweight for the height that they are, and Summer was. So she has wasting. Wasting in children is a symptom of acute undernourishment, usually as a consequence of insufficient food intake or high incidence of infectious diseases, especially diarrhea. In turn, wasting impairs the functioning of the immune system and can lead to increased severity and duration of and susceptibility to infectious disease and an increased risk of death. We'll skip the overweight. That definitely doesn't have a problem. Underweight. Weight is easy to measure, hence this is an indicator for which most data have been collected in the past. The mortality risk is increased in children who are even mildly underweight, and the risk is even greater in severely underweight children. All right, so then let's go to number 3. Let me see if I can grab it. Let me move this one up so I can get it. I told you, you're going to have to bear with me because this is going to lead up to a shocking discovery. And it's going to stop you cold in your tracks. Recognition signs of malnutrition in children. As parents and guardians ensure our children grow up healthy and strong is a top priority. Recognizing signs of malnutrition in children early can make a significant difference in preventing serious health issues and promoting proper growth. Malnutrition can be due to undernourishment, not getting enough food or essential nutrients. According to the World Health Organization, nearly 45% of deaths among children under the age of 5 are due to malnutrition. 45%. There's undernourishment, not getting enough calories and nutrients. There's micronutrient deficiencies, inadequate inadequate levels of essential vitamins and minerals in the diet. Growth signs of malnutrition is wasting, stunting, and underweight. Their skin can become dry and flaky, especially on lips and so forth. Their hair becomes brittle, or they begin to lose hair. Could explain why she was getting such short haircuts, y'all. Her nail beds can become weak or rigid. Dental issues, decaying of tooth eruption. Malnourished children may experience delays in the appearance of their teeth as well as tooth decay. Insufficient essential nutrients can increase the susceptibility of teeth decay. They can experience irritability, mood swings, lethargic, low energy, and difficult in concentrating. They can have developmental delays with delayed milestones and learning difficulties. And these are the more serious things that can happen. And the conclusion and so forth, recognizing the signs of malnutrition in children is essential for their health and development. By understanding these signs and taking proactive steps, you can ensure your child receives the nutrition they need. I think that's the tip of the iceberg. Okay? I'm just saying, let's get back onto our PowerPoint. Now that we've talked about that, it's time we come to another part of this. We have several different parts of Summer's case to break down. We have what happened to her. What did she experience? How could she have passed away? We also have what happened with her. Where did they go with her? What did they do? That's somebody else's thing right now. I am not concerned right now on that today. At this moment, I'm worried about what happened to Summer. And this is laid out like a game of Clue. All the clues are there. Every single one of them. But Candace and Dawn would not have really understood what triggered Summer to pass no more than you right now or me a few days ago before this research. Because something wasn't discovered to harm children in 2021. It is now being recognized as of late 2024 and 2025 to be so harmful to children that Ireland is not allowing children under the age of, I think it's 8 or 12, to even have these. But yet Summer had it that day. All right? So now's where we have to look at the situation. We've discussed a lot of things in Summer's case. We went from, could some stranger have taken her off the property? Highly unlikely. Could Summer have wandered off the property and somebody grabbed her? Maybe. We've talked about all the different things that could have happened accidentally to Summer. And when it comes to an accident, right, you have to be under the assumption that if it's an accident, that the parents hid and covered up the death of Summer because of something they did not want found out. So in other words, the child's post-mortem autopsy would have revealed something significant that would have caused the parents to possibly be prosecuted. And so therefore, the parents hid it. Whether you believe it could be dry drowning, whether you believe somebody might have hit Summer with a car, whether you believe that the child fell off a school bus and in over the side of the mountain, whether you believe she was left in a hot car and suffocated, all right? All of that would be accidental. Why would you not call 911 the very second that you found this child in duress? Even if she had passed a normal parent, a loving, caring, non-neglectful parent would have dialed 911. But if an autopsy would reveal that this child had such malnutrition and possibly SA abuse and other things, they may, and I believe 1,000% that Don and Candace are responsible for Summer's death. Number one, even if it's an accident, they led her right to the door for this catastrophe, I believe. And then to cover it up. But that's my thoughts. So we're going to start off with something you're very familiar with, but you're going to look at it in a different way today. I assure you. So pay close attention and listen what's said. Now what I've done is I've highlighted the important part of what is being shared here. Okay? A lot of little clips that's going to tell the story. Now, before I get on that, I want to tell you a little something that's very important, and I want you to tuck it on the side of your brain for a few minutes and we'll come back to it. There was a pillow under Summer. Even Chris McDonough asked about the pillow that had been under Summer. A pillow had been placed under Summer's butt. Why is that important? We'll come to find out much, much later. I learned that factually, not theoretically, not, allegedly, factually, that Candace sat on that pillow while she drove all the time. And that if she couldn't get to the bathroom quick enough, she would legit kind of pee a little in the pillow and then air dry it out for next time. That pee nasty pillow got placed under Summer. Now, much later, you're going to see Benny Keys hugging that pillow. Now, I don't have the clip, but it did happen where he was hugging that pillow, and I don't know where that pillow went. But I now know why that pillow was placed under Summer, and I think you'll understand. So let's continue. Let's get working into this to explain it all, and it'll come together real quick for you.
Was he in a bathing suit?
No, I think he just had his shorts and his shirt on.
Okay, and Summer, was she in her bathing suit?
Yes.
And how did she get in her bathing suit? Or?
I actually put her bathing suit on before we left home because it was really hot out that day.
Okay.
Really
so
hot.
it was just something small and then not so hot.
Okay, okay.
Because I know how she gets too hot.
Okay. And what was it?
Because I know how she gets too hot, right? Listen again.
Was he in a bathing suit?
No, I think he just had his shorts and his shirt on.
Okay, and Summer, was she in her bathing suit?
Yes.
And how did she get in her bathing suit? Or?
I actually put her bathing suit on before we left home because it was really hot out that day.
Okay.
So it was just something small and then not so hot.
Okay, okay.
Because I know how she gets too hot.
Okay. And what was the temperature that day? Give me an idea.
Probably in the 80s.
Okay. So it's Tennessee warm?
Mid-80s.
Yes,
Yes,
it's like it is now.
And are you an air-conditioned person, or in your mom's truck was the
No.
AC on? Or
I don't
off?
like AC.
Okay, okay.
All right. Listen close.
I actually put her bathing suit on before we left home because it was really hot out that day.
Okay,
So it was just something small and then not so hot.
okay, okay,
Because I know how she gets too hot.
okay.
I know how she gets too hot. So it's a hot day, and I know how she gets too hot. So I put her swimsuit on because I know she gets too hot. All right. Let's continue.
We went to the hospital
Right.
and picked up my mom.
Right.
And then we stopped at the smoke shop and I got mom that twisted tea that she wanted. And then I stopped at the hippie house and got me some smoked nicotine vapes, is what I got.
Okay. What flavor?
I think they were Skittles.
Okay.
Because that's kind of like.
Wait, do they have like a different taste
They
flavor?
actually taste like Skittles.
Okay.
That's the only kind I'll buy.
Okay.
And then we left from there and we went straight down to Walgreens and went to the drive-thru. But after we were done at the hippie house, I think we bought 3 of them, I think. I believe. And I set them right there on the council and he asked for one. I said, no, you can't have them.
Did he take one?
I don't know.
Okay.
Honest God, I don't know.
Okay.
But then we went to the Walgreens and dropped off mom's prescription. I said, well, if we got to wait 30 minutes, why don't we just bring Summer down here and let her play for a little bit?
Okay.
And that's what we did.
Okay.
I mean, there was nothing. I honestly didn't see him drink nothing down here. I don't know what he's talking about. I really don't.
All right. So it's your word against his, basically.
Pretty much.
Okay. On this
Pretty
scenario
much.
right here. Okay. So from here, where do you guys go?
Walgreens, he picked up my mom's prescription.
Okay. Is that the Walgreens right down at the
Yeah,
edge?
right straight across
It's the
from-
one that I showed the other day. That it's right down here.
Yeah, when we turned to come down here,
Yeah.
it's right down the corner.
Okay. And you get mom's prescription.
Yep.
Then what happened?
Okay. Guys. all this has gone on all day. We've been to the ER. We've been to Hunter's house. Hunter's gotten picked up. They're running around. They're going to the Walgreens drive-thru. Now they're swimming. No food. Not a drop of food. Nothing of nutritional value has been put in this kid at all. Nothing. And she's not a healthy looking kid in the first place. She's got wasting. She's got stunting. This is a normal day for Summer. She hasn't even really complained and made the day hell that she hasn't been fed. It's normal for her not to have any food at this point, obviously, because the child has not resisted this. This appears to be the way things are for Summer, not to have food. And now we're nearing 1 o'clock in the afternoon and no food. So you'd think if you went to a place that sells food, you would buy some food, right?
Then I told Mom, I said, why don't we get a Sonic?
Okay.
'Cause it's hot out.
Right.
So we drove in there, got a Sonic.
Right across.
All right. So they went and got themselves a Sonic, right? A restaurant. Somewhere where you can order all kinds of delicious food. Maybe a hamburger. Maybe something with food value to it. It ain't going to be wonderful because it's fast food, but at least you can put something inside the stomach of the child. Just something. Let's listen a little bit more. Just put that Sonic trip in the back of your mind.
We left from there, and I went up Moreland Drive because I had to pick up a few things. I was in the store for maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
Grabbed some milk and some cheese, and I don't remember what else I bought.
Okay. And that's the food lush?
No, priceless.
Priceless. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then I was like, Hunter, you're not coming to the house. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're going back to your house.
Okay.
And I took him back to his house and dropped him off and left. And Summer was still awake when I left his house.
Okay.
Hold on. You notice how Candace assures you like it's very important. Summer was still awake when I left his house. I do not believe that. I do not believe she was awake at that point. But she makes sure and says, and Summer was still awake when I left his house. Okay. Now let's hear what happens. Like I said, you got a child. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 12:30, 1 o'clock, that hasn't eaten all day at all. Not one little bite. Unless she picked up the Skittles laying in the back seat and maybe was drinking that Orange Crush. Just pure sugar. Absolute sugar. There's no pancakes back there in the back seat. The child is living off of, car trash. That's her intake, right? Okay, let's see what kind of food they bought as they went to Sonic.
Okay.
And Allie did never walk to the truck and try to talk to me.
Okay.
I tried to get her to come over and talk to me, but she wouldn't.
Okay. Where does, from here, when you left here, okay, and you went to Sonic, like you mentioned, what flavors do you buy? Do you remember?
I think I got me and Mom a grape.
Is that your favorite?
Not my mom.
Is that your favorite?
That's my favorite. I don't remember what Mom got. She got, it's like a cool water or something like that.
Okay.
And then Hunter, I think, wanted the blue one, I think.
Okay, is that the slushie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slushies. I don't really...
Did you buy food?
Nope.
Just the slushies?
Just the slushies.
Okay.
What? What? Did you buy food? Nope. Just the slushies. That's it. So the child's had zero food. She's malnutrition. She's got rotting teeth. Her blood sugar has got to be just absolutely on the very edge of juvenile diabetes at any given moment. And this child has been given a slushie. Here comes that truth train. Pay attention. God is telling you this child was starving physically to death because of malnutrition. She was on the verge of a very serious problem. And then she was given a blue or a purple slushie. Okay, let's listen a little bit more.
So from there, where do you guys go?
From there, we go to Sonic.
Where?
Sonic.
Sonic.
And what did you get at Sonic?
Slushies.
Slushies.
Like a blueberry slushie.
Okay.
She got some purple one. Her mother got an orange one, and Summer got the same blueberry one.
So you bought a
Summer
they bought
got a
slushie
what?
at Sonic.
The one down, not by your,
Okay. Let's listen again what color Summer got.
like a blueberry slushie.
Okay.
So Hunter got a blueberry slushie.
She got some purple one. Her mother got an
She got a purple one. Her mother got...
orange one, and Summer got the same blueberry one.
So Candace got a purple one.
Like a blueberry slushie.
Okay.
She got some purple one. Her mother got an orange one, and Summer got
And her mother got an orange one.
the same blueberry one.
So
Hold on, let's see what Summer got.
Blueberry slushie.
Okay.
She got some purple one. Her mother got an orange one, and Summer got the same blueberry one.
Okay, so Summer got a slushie. I can't tell what he's saying. I almost... If somebody else wants to tell me what
Slushie.
flavor...
Okay.
She got some purple one. Her mother got an orange one, and Summer got the same blueberry one.
so
Something about a single bear. A slushie. All right.
they bought a slushie at Sonic.
The one down, not by your Walmart, but then the other one.
Okay. So now where's that Sonic at?
400 Drive.
Okay, got it.
Before Walmart.
Okay, so from there, did they eat them there? Did you guys eat them there?
No, we ate them on the way to Priceless.
Okay, so you eat the slushes all the way to, what's it called?
Priceless.
Priceless.
So they didn't stay at Sonic. They went through the drive-thru, got everybody's slushies, and continued on their way to Priceless, where now they've had to put Summer in warmer clothes because she's now cold after the slushie. She's cold. She wants the clothes on, right? Okay.
Okay, where's that at?
Ask her, I really don't do good with
Do you know where that's at, Miss? Okay.
It's the one that she goes to by the liquor store.
Okay.
It's down.
It's down before you hit her road.
It's like almost across from J&J Auto.
Okay. And then
No, that's one-
who goes into the store?
Her and her mother again.
Okay, so Candace and her mom go in the store again. And that left you and Summer in the car.
Yeah.
And what are you guys doing?
Just still watching TikToks, listening to music. I mean, just sitting there watching TikToks mainly.
Is she lethargic? Is she, do you notice anything unusual about her?
I didn't know. I just seen that her hair was cut. That was it.
Yeah, but when did you notice that, right?
That was like when we first saw her.
Right, when you first, right. I mean, but at that moment, are you noticing anything unusual going down?
Not really.
Okay, when you say not really, what does that mean?
Like, not in general, no.
And then what happens from,
Did you notice anything going on there with Summer? Not really. Okay.
okay. So let's go back to the truck share. Summer's on the other side with the milk. Hunter gets out. You ask Hunter, or you talk to Candace about wanting to talk to Summer. What happens?
She said no, I wasn't allowed to wake her up.
Okay, so she's sleeping?
Tanisha?
You guys, you can go watch this on the interview room and slow it down for the speed that you would like. He has 4 of them out there. They're 4 years old. We've all seen them 100 times. I am not going to play them at normal speed for anybody. You can literally go there and watch it. I'm telling you, and I've got little things on the screen that tell you what they say that are word for word. And the reason is we have a lot to cover. And this is just letting you know that Hunter also confirmed that they went to the Sonic. They had slushies. They did not eat food. Candace said they went to the Sonic, they had slushies, and that no food was purchased. That's all so far. So just because it's sped up, don't panic. You're not missing anything, okay?
Okay, did it look like to you she was sleeping?
At the time, yes.
Okay.
But now that I...
Did it look like to you she was sleeping? Yeah. So the child is already sleeping, but they can't wake her up. All the activity with Grandma and Hunter and everybody around this child, and she's not waking up on her own to be like, hi, Allie. Nope, she's still sleeping and on cold milk. Okay. Let's listen to this.
Explain the milk. The picture of...
It was sitting right there beside Summer.
Okay.
Because when I handed it to Hunter in the car, he was on the outside. I said, Hunter, put this on the other side of Summer. I just set it over there.
Okay.
And she was wide awake setting up.
Okay.
Like, she didn't go to sleep until after we left town.
Did she change...
And she didn't go to sleep until we left town. I don't buy that because Hunter and Allie are saying that Hunter was asleep when Hunter got out. Now listen to this.
We left town.
Did she change clothes?
Yeah, I changed her clothes because when I have the windows down, it can be 100 degrees. I'll have all the windows up. Roll up the window, Mommy, I'm cold.
So roll up the windows, Mommy. I'm cold. And they've now went from being hot to I'm cold. So they've had their slushy. We're now within the hour that the slushy was given to the child. And she is experiencing a sense of being very, very cold. So she actually is so cold that they put her warm outfit on with the long sleeves. They don't turn the air conditioner on in the car. They roll up the windows. And it's mid-80s out. And they're in a hot car. Summer's got on this outfit and she's still cold. Okay? But yet, Summer is laying on cold milk and not waking up. She's already cold to the point that they've had to roll up the windows, turn the air off, put her in warm clothes, but yet she is not waking up when her skin of her face is laying up against ice cold milk. All right.
Understand when you went home, tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way home.
On the way home, well, we were just sitting there talking, me and Mom, about everything pretty much, trees, flowers, rock. Whatever Mom likes, pretty much we talked about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her arms up like this, like her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
So I wanted to catch that moment.
Okay.
It was just things I do.
So Summer had fallen asleep. And when Candace looked back as she was driving over her shoulder, Summer's hands were up like this, like her daddy. And so Candace handed Grandma the phone, and Candace accidentally videotaped instead of taking a picture of Summer. Here's the problem with that. When you go look up the child, you have to ask, how did that happen? That story is not true. This child's arm in the video is pinned. The child never had her arm up over her head. So something had occurred that caused Candace to be concerned with Summer's movement. Let's really think about this. Summer had no food that day, but she had a slushie. She's not waking while in contact with ice cold milk. Summer has staining right here on her shirt and staining on her lips, which if you've ever had a child that vomited any type of highly concentrated colored drink, even if it was a purple slushie, it could stain red on the lips, because red makes purple too, right? It'll stain reddish when it comes back up out of the stomach. It also appears to be on her shirt. So I would guess not only is Summer cold, but she also has vomited and been moved because she's not okay. I believe this child is fully unconscious and gone into shock at this moment.
Understand when you went home, tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way home.
On the way home, well, we were just sitting there talking, me and Mom, about everything pretty much, trees, flowers, rock. Whatever Mom likes, pretty much we talked about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her arms up like this, like her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
So I wanted to catch that moment.
Okay.
And it was just...
So we know that's a lie, y'all. The child's arm is pinned. What I believe happened was 1,000% that Summer had a seizure. I believe that it's very likely that Summer had a seizure. And then you have Candace stating that when they got home, Summer got out of the car. I don't buy that either.
I unlocked the gate, went up, and I woke her up. She got up, I unbuckled her, she got out of the car.
I woke her up, I unbuckled her, she got out of the car. These are all lies. This child has slipped into a coma.
we went and grabbed the boys from the house to
Yep.
come help us with the groceries.
Yep.
Because I always have them come help me do something.
You know, who was...
Okay. Here's the biggest lie yet. And how do you know? Because she jumped up faster than I ever seen her jump up to go plant flowers. That was Candace's word. She jumped up faster than I ever seen her jump up. And we know that's not true. We know that's not true. And now I'm going to show you what happened to Summer. Hold on just a minute. Listen close.
That children under 8 years of age should avoid slush ice drinks containing the sweetener glycerol. The study, published in the British Medical Journal, looked...
And just so you know, all slushies have glycerol. It's what makes them slushies because it doesn't allow the ice to consolidate. It allows it to stay half frozen. It's the glycerol. So every slushie has it.
Took the cases of more than 20 children who needed emergency treatments after having the drinks. Our correspondent Simon Jones reports.
They're brightly coloured, designed to appeal to children. Slushes increasingly contain glycerol, a naturally occurring sweetener, instead of sugar. But there's concern about the effects on the young. 4-year-old Albie almost died, according to his mum, after having a slushie at a bowling alley. He collapsed and spent 3 days in hospital. Medics said he'd suffered an intolerance to glycerol. Researchers looked at the cases of 21 children in the UK and Ireland, aged between 2 and 7, who became acutely ill after drinking slushes. They suffered reduced consciousness, a sudden sharp drop in blood sugar, and a build-up of acid in the blood. All recovered and were told to avoid the drinks in future.
The reason the children recovered is because they were under medical care. The parents had taken them to the hospital and they realized that the child was going into physically glycerol intoxication shock, and they were able to fix it. Summer never had that help.
Current voluntary guidance from the Food Standards Agency advises that slushes containing glycerol shouldn't be sold to children aged 4 years or under. The glycerol is put in the drinks to stop the ice from fully freezing, maintaining that slushy effect. Researchers say glycerol can have a different effect depending on someone's weight, how quickly it's drunk, and whether it's consumed with a meal.
Okay, so you guys, it's going to be a lot worse for a child that has wasting, stunting, due to malnutrition, has had no food, so they're underweight for their height. There's very, very malnutrition, and they've had no food on a hot day, and they're given this high dose of glycerol. And it matters if they're tiny. And the tinier they are, the more susceptible that they can fall ill, where their heart literally seizes.
Guidance that currently exist for children under 4 not to be given slushies should possibly be extended up to 8 or further to err on the side of caution, because at this point in time we don't have any transparency about how much glycerol is in some of these drinks.
Okay, listen to this one. Terrifying reason parents are being warned not to let children drink slushies following numerous hospitalization. The Food Safety Administration, the FSA, has just launched a new campaign outlining the health risk of the popular summer drink. How interesting, summer drink, right? All right, let it load and then I'll share this website with you. This is, it's very hard for you to read, I think, but you'll get the gist of it. Terrifying reasons parents are being warned not to let their children drink slushies following numerous hospitalizations. As the weather heats up, I'm sure many kids are keen on running to the shop and getting their hands on an ice-cold snack to help them cool. And rubbing shoulders with the likes of ice creams, ice lollies, and ice-cold fizzy drinks, it's clear that slushies are high up on the go-to list when it comes to summer treats. However, they don't come without dangers, as parents have been issued an urgent warning advising them not to let their little ones slurp on the beloved beverage following possible hospitalizations. Back in 2023, Beth's green 4-year-old son, Albie, became tired and agitated within a few minutes of downing a slushie at Warwickshire. Beth rushed him to the A&E, where he had to be resuscitated, and doctors said he almost died. In 2024, Victoria Anderson's 3-year-old son Angus went limp and stone cold after drinking a raspberry-flavored slushie in Port Glasgow, Iverclyde. The tot was unconscious for 2 hours, and the mom was scared he would die. Just today, July 17th, the Food Standards Agency, FSA, has launched a new campaign outlining the health risk linked to giving children under the age of 7 slushy ice drinks or slushies containing glycerol. Additionally, the FSA advises that children aged between 7 and 10 should have no more than one 350 milliliter slushie per day, which is roughly the size of a fizzy drink. Public awareness campaign has been timed to coincide with the seasonal spike in slush ice drink sales at children's indoor play areas, leisure facilities, and outdoor events. Sees retailers also being asked to support such advice, but not offering free refills to children aged under 10. FSA Chief Scientist Advisor Professor Robin May explains, as we head into the summer holidays, we want parents to be aware of the potential risks associated with slushy ice drinks containing glycerol. While these drinks may seem harmless and side effects are generally mild, they can, especially when consumed in a large quantity in a short time, pose serious health risks to young children. That's why we're recommending that children under 7 should not consume these drinks at all, and children aged 7 to 10 should have no more than 350 milliliters. May added that the FSA was working closely with industry to ensure appropriate warnings are placed whenever these drinks are sold. Glycerol intoxication. The FSA explained that a very high level of exposure, typically when several servings of the product are consumed by a child in a short space of time, glycerol can have a shock, very low blood sugar levels, and loss of consciousness. In the last 3 years alone, there have been 9 confirmed cases of glycerol intoxication, and young children required hospital treatment in the USA or in the UK. Parents should ask sellers drinks if they have, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's get off this and go back to this little deal. Listen to this story. Hold the phone. First, he got kind of agitated, and then he had a wee accident. These children that experience this glycerol toxicity, intoxication, right, that becomes deadly, they all start getting agitated. They get cold. They get very, very cold. And then trained children will all of a sudden pee. They'll have a wee accident. Well, Candace probably put her pee pillow under Summer because more than likely Summer had the same thing happen. She had a pee accident. That could also explain the change of clothes also to the warmer clothes. She probably had a pee accident, and they didn't want her sitting in her own pee, so they put the pillow beneath her and put her in warmer clothes. So Summer's getting agitated. Summer's feeling very cold on a hot day. She's had no food for God knows how long. She's suffering from malnutrition, which you and I both know that screws up their blood sugar so bad. And then it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the only thing that they gave this child is this slushy with this high concentration of glycerol, which is known to be very seriously life-threatening to tiny young children, and body weight and the health of the child plays a major role. So this child follows exactly what happened. He went very cold, and then he peed, and then he loses consciousness. We know that Summer got cold because they put the outfit on. Let's back it up. We know that Summer is tiny, very tiny. We know that Summer had no food. We know that Summer got very, very, very cold to the point that they put the clothing on her. So she is experiencing all of this. We know that that Candace put her own pee pillow beneath the child. We know that Summer fell asleep, and even cold contact with milk, she wasn't waking up. So basically, she's following the exact same blueprint that this little boy you're going to hear, they had to go get defibrillators from another store and jumpstart his heart because he passed out and his heart stopped over a slushie. So Summer had a slushie, fact. Summer got cold, fact. They put an outfit on her in mid-80s with the windows up and no air, and she was still cold. I would guess that the reason that Candace put the pee pillow under Summer is because she had a wee accident. And then the fact is, this child slipped into a slumber that was so deep that not Allie, not Hunter, not Grandma, no one woke her up when they stopped there and all were talking right by the car. And sleeping, here comes that truth train, sleeping on cold, ice cold milk when she's cold, she didn't even stir.
And then...
Okay. Parents have been warned about the dangers of giving slushies to their children after one toddler nearly died and several others have been rushed to the hospital. The Food Standards FSA gave updated guidelines on the safety levels. Here's another child, 4-year-old, completely unconscious 10 minutes after drinking toxic slushy poison. Let's look at this one. Where is, let me get it on too. 4-year-old hospitalized, completely unconscious, 10 minutes after drinking toxic slushy poison. A recent study found that several children were hospitalized after drinking slush ice drinks containing glycerol. Now, one mom is detailing her daughter's hospitalization just minutes after consuming the popular drink to send a warning to other parents. In 2020, Kim Morrow from Lincolnshire, England, took her daughters, Marnie, 4, and Orla, 6, to a children's party where she bought them refillable slushies. After 10 minutes, her youngest daughter fell unconscious. She was pale and unresponsive. We ended up buying 2 1-liter refillable cups, and they were going off plane, eating, drinking, getting drinks, and coming back, but Marnie didn't drink the full cup. Probably only half. And then about 10 minutes later, she started getting really aggravated. Then she started falling asleep. And so I thought she was just overtired. It was only 5 minutes later when I tried to wake her up, and then I realized she wasn't waking up and was actually unconscious. I think it was a mom's instinct that I knew something wasn't right, she said, told the outlet. She was floppy and completely unconscious. After arriving at the hospital, doctors discovered that Marnie's blood sugar levels were dangerously low and transferred her to another hospital where she remained for 3 days. I had no clue what had caused it. She was unconscious for around 25 minutes. While they worked on bringing her blood sugars up, said Moore. In hospital, she screamed out in agony, saying her head hurt and threw up everywhere. Moore was later told that her 4-year-old was suffering from glycerol toxicity as a result of consuming the slush ice drink, which contained the sweetener glycerol. Many slushies contain glycerol because it gives the drink its slushy texture. Looking back, she had every single symptom of glycerol toxicity. Moore said, "I was absolute fear. If I had not taken her to the hospital, it may have a different outcome." Moore said her daughter was able to recover after 3 days in the hospital. She is now sending a warning to the other parents, urging them not to allow young children to consume the slush ice drink. So many people promote free slushies and so forth. And they're saying under the age of 12, children should not consume the glycerol slushies. It mimics inherent disorders of gluconeogenesis and glycerol metabolic, I don't know, big words. So let me go back over to the PowerPoint here. And I wanted you to look at all of these slushy warnings, right? Look at all these slushy warnings. Okay. So the children that suffer from glycerol toxicity first become agitated. They complain with headaches and not feeling good. They complain that they're very, very cold. They have accidents, wee accidents. And then they go and fall unconscious. And before they go unconscious, some of them go unconscious, come to, and go unconscious, come to. Often, they have seizures, actual seizures. So when you think about it, this child had no food at all, had went swimming, is very underweight, is very malnutritioned, an empty belly. She didn't look healthy in the first place. So when they got that slushy and they drank it on the way to Priceless, the countdown started. And by the time that they left Priceless and were pulling into Hunter's, Summer had already had her clothing changed and put into something warm because she's cold. She'd already been put on the pee pillow, obviously because she had a wee accident. She had also fallen asleep and was laying on very cold milk containers and not waking. This child, I believe, passed away from untreated glycerol toxicity. And Candace and Dawn, I do believe, knew that Summer was having sugar problems. And how I know is because Grandis was giving Summer a piece of candy. And I think that that is because when a child's blood sugar crashes, one of the first things you do is try to get them to eat a piece of hard candy to bring the sugar back up. Because the sugar has literally went bump, 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 up the cliff, up the mountain, up 110 bin hill, sugar climbing, and all of a sudden the body says, I can't do it, and the sugar crashes. And so the first thing you're going to do with your child is you're going to get somebody calling 911 in the background. You're going to try to get a little piece of hard candy in them. Then maybe a cracker with a piece of cheese or sausage to kind of start getting them up while that ambulance is coming. You're going to get them on the drip where they can control that blood sugar and get that baby back to health. Without it, if your child drops into this glycerol toxicity, this could kill them. This is so vital. This is so vital. Now, I'm not here to convince you. You are free to believe however you like. I do believe they covered it up, I believe they hid it because I believe this child was not only being not fed, abused, essayed, in my opinion. And I think that's why they covered it up. And you can believe however you like, but facts don't lie. This child had a slushy, then she got cold, and then she peed on the pee pillow, or why they got the pee pillow is because she had that accident. And then I believe 1000% that she is unconscious on those milk cartons. And I believe she actually went into shock and passed away. All the facts suggest it. And so I don't know what they did with Summer after that. But I do believe that that is what happened to Summer. Is that slushy was the very tip of a large iceberg of malnutrition, of this child being underweight for her height, under height and weight for her age. It's just she wasn't getting fed. Like I said, no mention of food. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and all you get your child is the most highly concentrated sugary drink that now, looking forward in 24 and 25, they're discovering can be fatal for very young children, 4 and under. Well, Summer's weight and all of that play a part. That's why she looks so pale in the back seat, says it runs with scissors. All right, I'm going to jump over to chat. I've shared my part. Carolyn says, if this is true, then karma is coming to them because they didn't want to get her help because of the SA and not eating. This is so sad, and I believe she was unconscious at the milk jugs. Yes. And that's why Donnie is saying they'll see her in the resurrection. That's why Candace is saying, is God trying to punish me? Because she doesn't really know the real reason, technically, that Summer passed. Right, she's already pale and blue in that last car photo. Right. Thank you, Allison. Please leave your DNA and the thumbs up. It's free and shows appreciation for Mama D's work and time. And thank you. Thank you, lovely. Amputee says, yes, I agree with you. Debbie, there's so much that backs up my theory. I'm definitely feel that this is legitimately what happened. I doubt she even paid attention until it was too late. Exactly, Callie. They were busy talking about flowers, right? Joan Harkins says yes, but they need to find her so that she can be laid to rest. Truly, amen. Well, Tracy, love, you can believe however you like, but it all does point to the vomit on her shirt is also indicative of being nauseous, being so very, very cold. Sarah says, when I was in the elementary school, glad the carpal dad who took me home didn't think slushies could be poison. Oh, wow. Grasshopper, I know you don't agree, but I still value your opinion. If it was a slushie, why is everyone playing a part in this case that they would risk their own freedom for a slushie? I don't think it was that they don't know, let these people fool you. First of all, they don't even know it's a slushie. They may think that it could have been anything in their mind. It could have been that the drugs that they were using on the children stayed in her system and built up a toxicity in her body, and she just passed away. They have no idea. But in any situation, why would any of them risk themselves to cover it up? So it doesn't matter if you considered it any of that. You would still have to answer to the question as to why did they cover it up. Love, light, and for all. If this is true, a lot of people have wasted a lot of time. I am not here to convince you guys. I'm sharing what I absolutely 1000% factually believe. I really, really believe this. Kelly's Codas, the saddest is that only one of us seemed to care more about Summer. All of us say that her own mother. Agreed. Tarnished Pearl says, why was she even drinking that day and share the twisted tea with the minor, and the vapes can be overdosed if you have too much. Right, Debbie says, Grasshopper, they would have no idea that the slushy, no one knew in 2021. It was discovered in 2024 when these kids kept coming in with blood sugar problems to the point that they were literally like unconscious and in a coma, or even their heart was stopping and they were having to defibrillate them back. They were finding that their blood sugar was spiking so high so quick, and then it would drop, and then they were like, they all had slushies, and so they started checking it, and now they know. True, we don't know if that's a blood spot. That could be seriously vomit. If you've ever watched a child vomit like a red Kool-Aid or anything with a real potent color like a purple, it can leave the lips stained a bluish pink, right? A redness. And then that could be vomit right there on that seatbelt of the outfit. There was no blood found according to the sources, and there wouldn't be any blood. I couldn't tell you. I'm not here to solve the case. I'll let you figure out all the details. I'm here to share what I personally 1000% believe happened to Summer. You can take it with a grain of salt and tell me to kiss my butt. I'm still okay with that. The Jab says very possible. I agree. Tarnish says, and you're not so wise to say they were replanting succulents like they did you see the proper... Oh, I have no idea, hun. They could have buried her body in Van Hill, right? Wearing a new school jacket. Here's a cup of dye. She might have gotten sick with meds. Yeah, those planters were full of weeds. Definitely not planted recently. So that is what I have for you today, you guys. I'm going to wrap this up. It's heartbreaking to think that this could have been avoided, like if they had gotten Summer help. I believe she would have still been alive. This by far, in my book, falls in the lap of Candace, the mother, who was home all the time and could have been feeding these children. I'm not saying that the slushy would have taken Summer no matter what. I'm saying because she was so malnutritioned and so underweight and so incredibly tiny that she already had health issues with rotten, decaying teeth. That slushy and what it could do to healthy children, I believe, put Summer over the top, and that's why she got agitated. That's why she got cold. That's why they put the pee pad under her, the pee pillow under her. That's why she passed out on the milk. Nobody waking her at Allie's, trying to hurry home. Why Dawn is saying, I'll see her in the resurrection. Why Candace is saying, I really believe God is trying to punish me. Because they wouldn't really understand it. Them, back then, with no knowledge that slushies could do that, and she was fine when they were swimming, and then all of a sudden she passes, I could see where they thought it was an act of God, because they knew they were doing wrong by them kids. They definitely knew that in all ways. So, all right, my lovelies, I appreciate you very much. Thank you, Allison. Remember, all the lives pass within the very life, Signy. I don't know what you're talking about, sweetie. Yeah, the clothing are definitely pointing to this theory, Callie's Codex. I love you guys. Please pray that the rest of the truth comes out for Summer. But I told you I would never give up on Summer until I knew what happened to her. and I'm still not giving up on Summer. I just simply have this part figured out for me. And again, I'm not here to convince you. You may have other theories, but please consider it, because there's a lot of answers that start making sense when you see it this way. I love you guys to the moon and back. God bless you all. Thank you.
I was born to the dirt, I shall return when my eyes are closed. In the shadows, my enemies will think they won, but I am here to stay. Destiny will overcome, no, I am not afraid. Like a phoenix in the night, my soul will rise. From the darkness to the light, I feel alive. I'm a fire, burning bright, I'll never die.
By the way, you guys, make sure get this video out to every single parent. We've got summer coming up this year, and they need to know, and we have enough time to make sure that all parents know about this event, that these slushies can be deadly if they've got the glycerol, and this glycerol can kill your child. So make sure that this video, and I've never asked you guys to do this out of 5 years, please share this video and get it absolutely everywhere. I pray for all our beautiful little children, and that God keeps them safe and keeps you safe too. This is no joke. That's right, Callies. This is very dangerous and one of the most important videos I've ever made. So please, I beg you, share this absolutely everywhere. Love you.